Is it working? Good morning. Good morning from Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass. We're located at 5109 Liberty Highway in Pendleton, South Carolina. Welcome to the Don Show. But Don is not here today. He's on assignment, so he asked me to fill in for him. So I'll be your host. My name's Mark Stoudemire, and we have a special guest here. But first, today is Wednesday, July the 10th. Weather's 83 degrees is to be the high. It's 83 now, I guess. The high today is supposed to be 92. Here are our shout-outs for today. First of all, we were hoping to have Don's daughter, Heather, who's our producer and equipment operator, do the shout-outs, but we couldn't get her mic to work, so I'll do the shout-outs. We're shouting out to Jane, Josh, Heather, Carter, Blaine, Hampton, Hudson, Kinsey, Kim, Grant, Sil, Heidi, Charlie, and Harper. And I believe I've covered all the names there. And as Don always says, for Don and Jane, always loving Martin, Don's son here in the picture with the banjo on the wall. Don and Jane's son. At Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass, we do have music lessons. In fact, we've got one in progress right now, and they just moved. Mr. Gary Bell, who teaches banjo and guitar here, just moved back to the luthier shop with his student John. We teach fiddle or classical violin. We have an excellent teacher that knows both. We teach mandolin. I teach mandolin, starter mandolin, and I teach bass. Mr. Bell teaches guitar. Mr. Bell teaches banjo, and on Saturdays, Charles Wood comes here in the Saturday mornings and teaches banjo. So, as Don says, most anything with a string we can teach. We do not teach the Indian sitar, which you probably can't see, but there's an Indian sitar from India right there. Nobody plays it yet here. Do you play?
I do not.
Okay. We don't.
That'd be an interesting sound with bluegrass.
Yeah, it is. I did get a book as to how to do it, but I hadn't figured that out yet. Okay. Don always says we have the best instructors in the upstate, which I think we do. So for more information, you can call Don at area code 864-376-1482. Click on the subscribe button below on your computer to subscribe to the channel, because the more subscribers we have, the better off it'll be. Our sponsor today is Jernigan Orthopedics and Biologics. Okay, I can't get I'm tongue-tied this morning. They are located at 3150 South Carolina Road 123 in Piedmont, South Carolina, 29673. For appointments, you can call area code 864-740-5301 or go online at jerniganshoulderrelief.com and tell Dr. Jernigan that I sent you, either a musician or just someone who needs shoulder work, either a musician or a listener. Again, we're located at 5109 Liberty Highway. I think that's right. The phone number is 864-376-1482. You can follow us on our social media pages, which are YouTube, Facebook under Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass, and Instagram under also Breazeale's BG Bluegrass for Instagram. We have pork rinds for sale. They have a little store back here that's only open basically on Saturday night, when we have music from 6:30 to 11 every Saturday night, and we've got pork rinds. If you call Don, if you need to get them some other time, I'm sure he's here from time to time during the week, and he'll work that out. They're $7. The flavors are plain, hot and spicy, salt and vinegar, smoky bacon, barbecue. We also sell hats, shirts, mugs. Here's a mug. I have coffee in my Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass mug. He's also, he said they sell shirts. They've got, I think they've got caps or hats from time to time. He's also got bluegrass instruments, including fiddles, mandolins, guitars, basses, and banjos, or if he doesn't have something, he can probably find one for you. He's a good horse trader, so I'm sure he can find one for you if you need it. Did I say banjos? I may not have said banjos, but he's got plenty of those, I think. Pretty much anything with a string on it. Okay, there's an upcoming monthly public auction this Saturday, July 13th at 9 a.m. at Jeff Martin Auctioneers, live and online. So contact Blaine Albertson at area code 864-556-5384 for your auction needs. They will have free snow cones on Saturday, and my photos just went to a map for some reason. I don't think we need that. Here we are. They'll have free snow cones on Saturday at the auction. Be sure to come out and check out the vehicles, pickups, boats, and more at 1618 Auction Drive, Pelzer, South Carolina. So good. I believe that's everything that we normally talk about. Coffee. Don has coffee. He's got a few bags of his coffee, which is really good. So he can sell you coffee, or if you need, he can probably, when he gets another shipment, he'll probably have all his flavors in. So Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass coffee is really good. Okay, again, I'm your host, and my name's Mark Stoudemire, and my guest for today is Mr. Ryan Forbes. He is a master custom ukulele maker, or a luthier. Makers of stringed fretted instruments are called luthiers. I believe probably even violin makers are frequently called luthiers.
The unfretted as well, yep.
Okay, so I'm going to sort of turn it over. He has brought some samples and some wood samples, and I believe an in-progress ukulele. So he's the ukulele expert. You can tell them where you live over near Seneca, South Carolina.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
So I'm going to turn it over to Ryan and just let him talk to you, and I may have a question or two along the way. So
I hope you do
Mr.
have some
Forbes,
questions.
you tell them about yourself, and then
Well, just a little bit about myself, I guess. Been here about 11 years in Seneca and Clemson area. My name's Ryan Forbes. I am the actually the minister of music and worship at First Baptist Church in Clemson. That's my full-time job.
Okay.
And so several years ago, my son got a ukulele, and I'd played guitar earlier in my life. Never could feel like I could get to a confident point to be able to lead music with it. Excuse me. And ukulele came along, and I said, well, that's a good instrument. Went to a Christmas party, and we used ukuleles to do a sing-along, and at that point I said, hey, I want to learn how to do it. And after I got to where I felt like I was a little bit more confident, wanted to get a better instrument, I was looking around and couldn't find exactly what I want. You probably know exactly how it is. You've got many banjos, I understand.
do. I have a bunch of instruments myself.
That's right. So you're looking for something
became
that
a
you
collector.
want. And couldn't find anything, and I came across a guy, Jay Lickey, up in North Carolina.
Okay.
Went up to see him, and he was a builder and had one on his website. It was too expensive, but I wanted to see it. And after that visit, I decided I would start making one in my garage just to see how I liked it. And things have evolved to where now I have a shop, and I'm working to be able to provide custom ukuleles for those that want them.
Okay.
It's an interesting instrument. Before I talk about how they're made, let me just show you a couple.
Okay, first of all, let me ask you a question.
Okay, oh, please.
Ryan says ukulele.
Oh, okay.
I call it ukulele, so explain that
Both are correct.
difference.
In Hawaii, and I used to call it ukulele as well, but in Hawaii they call it ukulele actually.
Ukulele.
I'm sort of a hybrid. I call it ukulele.
Okay.
Ukulele. And that's just how they say it there, but it's perfectly fine to say ukulele as well. Most people on the mainland, they say, use the term ukulele.
Ukulele.
Yeah.
Uke for short, I'll
Uke,
say many
right.
times.
And so I've got a place online called ryansukes.com. So it's RYANS and UKES.
Okay.
And some people might say ukes, and I say ooks. So
Okay.
ryansukes.com is where you can find information about me and what I do and the service I provide for folks.
Okay.
So let me get an instrument.
Okay, while Ryan's getting an instrument, ukulele is the first instrument I ever learned to chord on. My dad, when I was probably about 10, taught me some chords while we were going to Sunday dinner at a family get-together over in Greenville, and he taught me my first chords on any instrument. I still have that ukulele. Unfortunately, the bridge popped off about 2 months ago. It's a little harmony.
Oh, okay.
It's actually, I saw it on the movie, I believe, Giant. They have one identical to it in that movie at some point.
Oh, how about that?
Okay, you talk
Well,
about
so there are 4 sizes, actually 5 sizes of an ukulele. This is a concert. The one that most people know of and see on TV and in the popular is a soprano, which is smaller than this, a little bit, a few inches smaller as far as length. But this is a concert, and many people use this, especially if you're an adult. A lot of people will use this because it's kind of a good size to get started on. And I built this one. It's out of koa wood. And I don't know how much you can see with the camera, but this is
if you want
a
to walk
traditional.
over there a little closer and hold it up.
I've got so.
Okay.
Okay, excellent. So this is koa wood. This is a traditional wood that's found in Hawaii. And so many ukuleles are made out of koa, although there's many different woods that are used. And I'll try to talk about that in a minute. But I brought this one just to let you hear.
Sounds pretty.
It's got the sound of what people feel like a ukulele sounds like. But the ukulele is a much more diverse instrument as well.
Right.
So you have a soprano and a concert. And let me bring up another one. This is a tenor ukulele. And as you can see, it's a little bit larger than that one. And the other thing that you have an option of doing on the top string, let me get that one.
Okay. I think I know what he's going to say, but I'll let.
So it's called
Ryan
reentrant tuning. On the top string is actually higher than the next string below it.
Okay.
So that gives the ukulele that traditional sound. You can hear how that sounds, like you think a ukulele is going to sound. So you have another tuning as well, and instead of having a high G, you have a low G.
Right.
And that sounds a little bit more toward a guitar.
Like a guitar.
Now, ukulele, the soprano, the concert, and the tenor are tuned like a guitar, but it's like a guitar on the 5th fret. If you put a capo on the 5th fret, that's how it sounds, except you don't have the 2 strings up closest to you. All right?
Okay.
So it's the same 4 strings, and it's like it's at the 5th fret of a guitar, those that play guitar.
So that
means if I do a chord shape without the top 2, this would be a G chord, but on a ukulele, soprano, concert, and tenor, this is a C chord.
It's a C chord. Okay. Excellent. Boy,
So if you've got,
good.
I can do a little bit of a song here. It's
pretty chords.
though the days are long, twilight sings a song of the happiness that used to be. Soon my eyes will close, soon I'll find repose, and in dreams you're always near to me. I'll see you in my dreams,
That's great.
hold you in my dreams. Someone took you out of my arms, still I feel the thrill of your charms. lips that once were mine, tender eyes that shine, they will light my way tonight. I'll see you in my dreams.
Oh, that's beautiful. Now, y'all.
Okay, so that's interesting. Just a side note. I know we have limited time, but a side note. There are many musicians that are fans of ukulele, and every now and then you'll get a popular song, and somebody will use ukulele on it. Such as George Harrison loved the ukulele from the Beatles.
Of the Beatles.
And that song I just sang was actually sung at his memorial concert.
Oh.
Because someone knew about his love for it. And so this one is actually made of, and some ukuleles that I make are very special. All of them are very special. But this one has a wood that's got a story to it.
Okay.
This top is a Sitka spruce top. Many times a guitar is made of Sitka spruce. But this was actually found and cut from a log underneath the ground in Alaska that they found. It's 3,000 years old.
Wow.
This piece of wood right here, 3,000 years old.
It ought to be
So I'm playing a song before the time of Christ.
Wow.
I'm playing a guitar instrument. Isn't that interesting?
It is.
So that gives you a special sense of that. Now sometimes you'll put a hole up here on the top, bout here, and that's a side sound port. They're starting to be put much more in guitars as well, and in ukuleles. And that gives the player their own monitor, I call it.
Okay.
You can hear the sound more as a player when you have that right there. So many of times I'll put that on an instrument.
Okay.
I better get on because I need to
Let me add real quick. What is this beautiful wood?
This wood here is myrtle wood.
Myrtle?
Yes, myrtle wood.
Myrtle wood.
Yeah, myrtle wood.
Myrtle wood. Look at the beautiful flaming pattern.
Yeah. Yeah, when you've got this flame like this, it's sometimes called curl. That's more of the master grade wood. You'll find that in a master grade wood.
Okay, fantastic.
And I'll talk about the woods in a little bit more. Now we'll get another one.
This is fascinating. You know,
Tell a joke,
woods.
Mark, while I'm away.
I'm not much of a jokester.
Okay. So this is.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
This is a baritone ukulele, and so you can see that they're getting larger and larger, right? So this baritone, in particular, has a Sitka spruce top, and it has koa wood on the back.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Explain the white stripe.
Okay, so this is a master grade koa wood, and the white stripe is the sap wood. Sometimes in a wood there'll be a grain of sap. And so many times if you find that in the wood, it really does add a lot of decoration to the instrument.
The striping and
it's got the flame and the curl on the sides.
Curly
and this one I put a side sound port as well. Now the baritone is tuned differently. The baritone is tuned like a guitar. If you're a guitar player, you can easily play ukulele if you just pick up a baritone. Because a baritone is tuned like a guitar without the two strings closest to you.
Right.
So if you do a G chord, you don't need to do the top two here.
Right.
If you do this, that's a G. So the chord shapes are the same. That's a D.
Right.
So that's an A.
Okay. That's fantastic.
And so this has more sound. This has a. So that's got a sound like a little bit more like a guitar. You don't have as much of the bassy sound because you're missing those top two strings, but it does give a much fuller sound.
Okay, in bluegrass, most guitars have steel strings, acoustic guitars.
They do.
Explain real quick.
These have nylon strings, and when you get to a baritone, you'll have two nylons up here, and then you'll have a steel wound string here. It's just wound string. It's not a steel string. So that's one thing different about a ukulele is that you don't need a truss rod. because the tension is not as great on an ukulele instrument as a guitar. Guitar's got steel strings, there's a lot of tension. With this, there's not much tension at all.
You got sapwood on the headstock.
It's got the sapwood on the headstock, yeah.
How about that? That's beautiful. That's gorgeous.
So this one, let's see, I'll do a little bit of another song.
By the way, I was going to say a while ago that the song you did was in the key of C, but he played a lot more chords than C, F, and G.
Oh, yeah.
He played those.
So this one goes like, peace to your brother, peace to your family, peace to your loved ones, peace to your enemies. Life is a hallway and change is coming. Can't you hear it knocking on the door? Well, you've done a fine job of blocking out the doorway, so it's hard for any light to shine through. But all you've been fearing is the mouth you've been feeding while you walk a mile in the other man's shoes. Peace to your brother, peace to your family, peace to your loved ones, peace to your enemies. Life is a hallway and freedom's coming. Can't you hear it knocking on the door? Well, I knew a wise man, he stood for glory, said do unto others as you've had done to you. But we all got so angry, we all started shouting. No one remembered that one fine golden rule. Peace to your brother, peace to your family, peace to your loved ones, peace to your enemies. Life is a hallway and I've been calling. Can't you hear me knocking at your door?
Wow, that's fantastic.
That was written by a ukulele player, actually.
It was.
Her name is Danielle Anderson. She goes by Danielle Ate the Sandwich.
Daniel
Ate the Sandwich,
Ate
believe
the
it or not. That's her
Sandwich,
stage name. But she's got some great songs. There's other people. I encourage you, if you don't know much about the ukulele, is to just go on a Google search and do ukulele virtuosos.
Okay.
And you'll come up with a guy named Jake Shimabukuro.
Right.
He is just astounding. And what he can do with the instrument changes what your view is of the instrument.
He played at Brooks Center, and I'll
He
bet
did.
you were there.
I was
weren't
there.
you?
I was
Tell
there.
us real quick about it.
It was a
Unbelievable.
wonderful concert. Yes,
Okay.
he brings some people with him sometimes, but he's a soloist on the instrument. Just those kind of people that you envy.
He's someone said about another musician, Chris Thiele, the mandolin player. He's a once in 100 year.
Exactly, I agree with that on the mandolin as well.
instrument.
Chris is unbelievable,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
And that was a professional musician who
So-
made that comment.
That's a little bit about the ukulele. Now about building them. Let me bring a couple of things up here.
Okay.
I don't have a whole lot because I'd have to bring my shop, but let's see how much we got. A little bit of time.
We got a little bit of time. We got at least 7 more minutes.
Yeah. So there are dealers that help you out if you're a luthier. There's a place called Stuart McDonald, Stu Mac, many people call it, that you can buy a lot of tools and a lot of materials and supplies from. And then there are other folks who deal in tone woods. When you talk about the wood of a guitar or an acoustic instrument, it's called tone wood because it has a tone.
Right.
And that you want it to have a tone. And so when I'm looking around to build an ukulele or somebody's come to me, we start talking about the woods.
Okay.
Now I use koa, I use sitka, I use myrtle wood, I use Engelmann spruce on the top, I use mahogany, you can use Claro walnut, and you can use sapele. You can use many of the rosewoods, Brazilian rosewood, which is very difficult to get now because it can't be shipped out of the country or in the country, cannot be internationally shipped. Then you've got other things like cocobolo, which is Central American rosewood, Indian rosewood. So many different woods out there, species of wood, give you different kind of sounds.
You ever use walnut or maple?
Walnut and maple.
You
Yes,
use those too.
yes,
You
and
use those.
like maple, a nice. I made a all maple, even with a maple fretboard.
Okay.
It just came turned out gorgeous. It wasn't my instrument. It wasn't my idea. I talked to a friend of mine at a convention I went to, and he had made just a gorgeous all maple guitar. And I said, we need a ukulele like that.
Do you still have that one?
I do not. I sold it.
You sold that
A
one.
teacher, ukulele teacher up in Northeast bought that.
Okay.
One of the things that I do, besides building custom builds, is I attend festivals or guitar shows, and I'll take my instruments that I've spec'd out. Like these here are all spec'd instruments.
Right.
And so no one has ordered those. I just made those because I wanted to, and I'll be able to take those to festivals. I'll be in Nashville in the 1st of August at a ukulele festival.
Okay.
I'll be in Chicago at the end of August, which is called the Fretboard Summit. And that's
wow.
where a lot of worldwide recognized folks are there, and I feel very pleased to be able to be there with them.
Do you have booths like it?
And I have a booth there with my instruments for sale, and also can talk to people about custom builds.
Fantastic.
And so when I start to build, I get different materials, but just give you an idea. People say, well, how does it work? So I'll get 2 pieces like this, and this will be the back or the front of an instrument.
That's koa?
And this is actually called pale moon ebony.
Pale, okay.
This is kind of an
Pale moon
exotic
ebony.
wood that I thought I would bring.
Wow.
There are many different other kinds of
It's
wood.
beautiful.
And if you've ever looked at an instrument down the center, like this one here, you see this is, sorry about that, this is that sapwood.
wood.
And this is actually 2 pieces of wood that are put together. Thank you, appreciate it.
Oh.
2 pieces of wood put together, and it's called book matching. You have 2 sides, and then when you put the 2 sides together and join them and glue them together, you can see how that gives that look. And you'll see a lot of that on a guitar and other instruments. You'll see a book match on the back.
Okay.
So I'll get this, I'll join it together, I'll thin it out, and then I'll put all the bracing. You have to put bracing on the inside of the top and the back, so that will give it the stiffness and keep it together.
Right.
But you want to get it as thin as you can because you want it to resonate as much as possible.
Okay.
So that's where you're working on a compromise between good bracing and thin wood.
Okay.
And that way you'll get a different kind of sound depending on how thin you can get the wood and keep it stable.
Okay.
All right.
You said you give a lifetime warranty or something
I do.
like that?
I do. I give a
on-
lifetime
on your
warranty.
products?
I sure do.
On your
I
ukes
sure
that
do.
you make?
And that's my lifetime.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
obviously.
So
Hopefully it's a long,
yeah, I
long
hope it's a long time. And so then for the sides, you'll get like a shaped piece of wood like this. And what I do is I thin that out, and then I'll put a heating blanket on it. And there'll be a form, and after it gets to a certain temperature, I can bend this wood around the form that makes the sides
okay.
of the instrument.
You make your own, you bend your own
yeah,
sides.
so you'll see this will be formed into the side of the wood.
Okay.
And so you'll have 2 sides, and then you put those sides in a form, glue them together, put your top and back on. And then if you weren't doing any kind of decorative things like binding and purfling, you'll use a router and you'll cut some channels around the outside.
Okay.
And then you'll put your binding.
That's amazing.
And when I talk about binding,
Oh,
getting close? Talk about binding, I'm
Yes.
talking about this little bit of purfling and right here.
Okay.
So those all kind of things in the rosette.
Okay.
I'm going to run out of time, but this gives you an idea
Okay.
of what I do. And I'll use a big slab of 3x3 piece of mahogany, and then I'll work that down into a neck.
okay.
And then I work on the fretboards and put the different frets in there, cut the slots. I've got a CNC machine that I use
Okay.
to make my fretboards and my bridges right
Okay,
now.
wow. Ms. Producer, how we doing? 1 minute?
1 minute. So I've just gone on and on.
Well, that's been a
hope I've
fantastic. Was
given
there
it-
anything you wanted to say that you hadn't said yet?
Well, I'm building a bass ukulele for a very special person. This guy right next to me. And I've got his wood here.
Okay. Hurry up. I haven't seen the wood. He invited me there
He
to
chose
order
the wood.
He let me choose
This
the
is
wood.
half of it. This is actually from a guitar size, but I'm going to make a ukulele out
Oh,
of it.
that's
And this
pretty.
is going to be a
And
koa.
I like those, what, I don't know, the W, the wrinkles in it.
Yeah, that's the figure of the
That's
wood.
beautiful. Now, you're going to tint it for me sort of on the reddish or amber side.
Yes.
I like a sort of a red instrument. Well, thank you very
Yeah.
much. Anything
Well,
else?
I so appreciate you inviting me. And again, ryansooks.com. Check me
Okay,
out.
we're going to have you back. That was a fantastic show. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it, Mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
And y'all, I guess we're set. Don will be back next week. And thank y'all for watching. And
Play on.
Heather, is there anything else I need to, we've covered it all, right? Okay. Thank y'all and bye-bye. We're just waiting for the on-air sign to go off there. Heather,